All right, so much for us doing a shorter show. Hey, let's quickly run through this for a second.
Oh, which one?
I want to talk a little bit about Juan Soto. Juan Soto
Mm.
turned down a $400 million contract. Now,
Not a
I
money.
don't a lot of money, but of course he knows he's a little elite player, and that's the type of money that could be going around. He also probably looks around, he sees the Nationals are on an absolute spiral. They traded everything that wasn't nailed down last trade season, and they're probably going to be bad for the next couple of years. And maybe, look at, I'm a believer that if someone offers you a contract that huge, you take it because you don't know if you're going to break down. You don't know if you're going to rip a hamstring or something like that. If you have a chance to cash in like that, you do it. But then again, I'm not in his position. I also know that, yes, the Nationals traded a lot of players, but they also got some talent back, and they may be good in 2 or 3 years, especially if you cross your fingers that the Mets are just going for it now, and you never know. But this is Juan Soto's prerogative. Now, you and I talked about this a few weeks ago. You almost never get trade value now that teams hoard their prospects, don't want to trade, don't want to give up young players who could be stars and give up years for them. So the Nationals are in a very, very bad place now. What do you think they should do?
I mean, if you're the Nationals, I think first and foremost, you try to meet the contract demands of Juan Soto, because I think if you're in the business of trading superstars, you're just going to lose those deals because, like you said, I think the prospects you get in return usually end up being busts or just not as good as we usually think they're going to be. So first step, I think, is trying to re-sign him and bring him back, because I think you need Juan Soto on that team. He's too good, he's too young, and he's a star. He's going to sell you tickets. Like, bring Juan Soto back. But if that does not happen, then you got to scour the trade market. You got to scour the canvases, and you got to start thinking about trading Juan Soto, because if Juan Soto is turning down that money, he's telling you, I don't want to be here in Washington, then you can't let that man walk for nothing in free agency. That will be, you can never lose the asset. There's no mechanism in baseball like football or basketball where you can match contracts or do like a little franchise tag. We can't go anywhere. They have the arbitration, but once that's up, Juan Soto's a free man. He can go anywhere. And you do not want that to happen if you're Washington. So I'm going out there. I'm scouring the trade market. I'm asking for the best haul. I'm going to the Yankees. Give me your Volpes and all your best prospects. I'm going to every other team. Give me 4 of your top 5 prospects. Give me every blue chipper you have. And if I'm another team, if I'm a team that's maybe a superstar away or a couple players away from winning, I'm doing it. I'm giving up all my blue chip prospects because I do not care. I'd rather have the bird in the hand instead of the 2 in the bush, Sully. You know the old proverb, because I'm all about the tangible assets. And Juan Soto is a superstar, and prospects and blue chip guys, I just don't know. So give me what the certainty is.
Yeah, I mean, look at he could be a free agent at the end of the 2024 season, of which he'll still be in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
I mean, we forget how young he is. He is a very young dude. He is 23 now. How old is he? I'm going to baseballreference.com, single greatest website.
I think, yeah, like
he's 20. He's going to turn 24 in October when he won't be playing in the playoffs. This is a guy, he's being walked more than anyone in baseball, because why would you pitch to him? And he still has 19 home runs, despite being walked 79 times this year.
Yeah, he's the OBP king. And I thank him for actually turning down the contract, because who wants to see Juan Soto locked up for 14 years? It's like, it's what we talked about in a previous podcast. Like, there's a lot less discussion around baseball in terms of the offseason rumors and the drama that just not there in the sport that we could have. Once Juan Soto's locked up for 14 years, there's not going to be many Juan Soto's conversations. Where can he get traded to? Because stars don't really ask for trades in baseball. Once he's locked into that 14-year deal, then it's like, all right, let's just talk about his stats and what he means to Washington and stuff like that. But I want a little bit of drama. I want to be like, all right, he's 2 years away from free agency. What should the Nationals do? Should we start talking about trade ideas and potential destinations? Should they bring it back? Should we start talking about fake figures? Like, there's just so many more angles you can talk about a player when their contract is about due up. But when it's like a 14-year deal, it's like, what conversations can we now have about the guy? So I'm glad they turned down the deal, and I'm hoping he does one of those short-term mega contracts that we've seen in recent history from the Trevor Bauers and the Max Scherzers of the world.
Well, I'll tell you something that's interesting from his perspective is that, unlike Trout or Votto or some of the other superstars who have signed long-term deals, he's delivered a World Series title to Washington.
Yeah.
The city of Washington has not had a World Series title since 1924. Okay. Now they do. And he had to do, when we were talking about Jeremy Pena, he had to fill in for Bryce Harper.
Mm-hmm.
And he did so with a World Series where he had 3 home runs, had an OPS of 1.178. He drove in 7 runs in the 7 games, had 2 huge home runs in that shocking, and I mean shocking, upset of Los Angeles in the division series that year. Washington fans are off the schneid. And a big reason is that he filled in Harper's shoes and came up with big hit after big hit. Remember, the Astros were supposed to clobber them, and they wound up winning the World Series. So in the one sense, Soto might think, hey, I don't have to win a world. If I stay here, I'm just going to be this beloved player in Washington for the rest of my life. Or he could say, I'm young enough that I can have another mountain to climb. And, and of course, cash in somewhere. He'll have played, let's say he plays the next 2 years. Let's say the Nats don't trade him away. And then he winds up leaving via free agency after 2 years. He'll still have played 7 seasons in Washington. Mm-hmm. Nats fans would have had a substantial amount of time. If they trade him tomorrow, this is his 5th year. So it's not like he's someone who hasn't given time to Washington. He's delivered a title and everything you could ever want. You know what? If I were a team that has a small window of opportunity, like you were saying, and some decent prospects, of course, a team that has one of the richest farm systems and one of the lowest payrolls and is a contender right now and needs a bat.
Who?
Is Cleveland.
We're sending Soto to Cleveland?
Cleveland's not doing it. He's not doing it. Another team that's loaded with prospects can win right now and could use a huge bat like this in the lineup is Tampa. They're not doing it.
No money.
There's not exactly. Well, yeah, everyone has money. I don't like
everyone has money.
Everyone has money.
But they cry poor.
Baltimore has a rich farm system, or on the verge. And they play in a rich area. And they could fill Camden Yards again. And you put Soto up there, you trade away some, you don't trade away Bruxman, you trade away some of those other players. I don't see it happening. The Yankees. The Yankees could.
They could.
But they have a bigger fish to fry. Mm-hmm. Who am I to judge who they have to put priority to? But Judge is going to be a free agent. Mm-hmm. And Judge is much older than Soto.
Yeah.
And you could put your heart on the shelf and say, we would rather have Soto than Judge. Imagine if Soto comes to New York and doesn't produce as well as Judge. Judge is the homegrown boy, everyone wearing the all rise, wearing the robes and everything like that. And if Soto comes in as, who's this guy? They'd say that it'll be a disaster for him.
What if he's better, though, with that short porch? That could be the scary thing.
Yeah, but then for every story like that, there's countless stories of Yankees bringing in a superstar that doesn't fit in. Okay, ask Joey Votto what it's like, Joey Gallo what it's like working in New York right now. I know Gallo's not the player well, hell, ask A-Rod who delivered. He delivered. He's the greatest third baseman in Yankee history. Won 2 MVPs. Led them to the 2009 World Series title. And people treat him like he's garbage.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. There is one team that has a top farm system, can win, and doesn't mind spending money. And they exist right down the 5 from where I'm sitting right now.
I don't know what the 5 is.
That's the highway that leads me right to Dodger Stadium.
Oh. So Dodgers.
I think the Dodgers are the most likely fit, unless the Angels just want to stockpile MVPs and see how many MVPs they can have and still lose 90 games.
No more going to the Angels wasteland. I do not want to see that. I got 3 teams written down for myself that I just thought were kind of fun. I didn't even look at the farm systems or anything like that. I just thought they would be fun. What if the Blue Jays were like, let's throw our hat in the mix? We got a ton of young talent. Imagine you put him with Vlad Guerrero and the Bo Bichette's and the Teoscar Hernandez, that rotation.
And they're flowing with money. They're flowing with money in Toronto. Yeah, that's a great choice.
And then you get that home field advantage with people who don't want the shot. Man, going crazy up there in Toronto with Juan Soto. And then after that, how about the Padres? Little Tatis, little Machado. They could use another guy. Maybe you trade like a Cronenworth or something in there with some prospects. Maybe you throw Mackenzie Gore. No. Yeah, but that would be fun. I just want to see that trio of Soto, Machado, and Tatis. I just think that would be so much fun, and I think that would be one of the nastiest trios in baseball. And the last team that I have written down is the team that we talked about earlier, the hottest team in baseball. What if the Mariners are talking about Ken Griffey Jr.? What if you just went out there and got the Juan Soto to pair with the Julio Rodriguez in the outfield? Imagine that dynamic duo with the power and the speed and the defense those two could play. Nasty 1-2 combo at the top of your lineup if you're Seattle.